morning, my name's Meg. I'm going to be doing some scrapbooking with you today. Scrapbooking is a really good craft because it's something that you can pick up and do for 5 minutes, or you can spend a whole afternoon getting lost in it. And it's also really good if you're a bit like me and you've got a phone full of pictures that you've never really used and perhaps not even printed off before. So you can make a really nice place to put them. It's good for doing perhaps when you've been on holiday, or you can even make it into like a daily diary if you like. So you've got some materials to get you started in your pack. So we have some coloured paper, some patterned paper, some couple of felt tips, a glue stick, a fine liner, pencil, scissors, the book of course, some cool stickers, some washi tapes. These are just like paper based tapes and they've got funky patterns on them. I think that's everything. So as well as that, if possible, it would be really good to have some photos. Like I say, you could print these off. They're quite easy to print off these days in like your supermarket and that kind of thing. So some pictures, and as well, if you're a bit of a hoarder like me, you might have some special birthday cards that you've kept, or like just random stickers, tickets, wrapping paper, lots of little different bits and bobs. So all of those things hopefully that are in your pack will give you a good place to start, and then you can sort of build up your collection of scrapbooking materials from there. So we're going to have a look at a couple of different layout ideas and a couple of different ways to use the different materials that you've got, and perhaps have a little look at different themes as well. So like I say, you could do it as a diary if you wanted to, or you could do it like me in different sections. I've got a little bit of a plan. You don't have to be this organised, but just for the video I have been. You could choose to do it in different sections. So I'm going to start with a double page about my latest birthday. Obviously spent in lockdown, so didn't really do anything that special for it, but I've got some nice pictures that I'd like to put somewhere special. So I've got a special breakfast that I had, like a little party picture. I've got some special wrapping paper and some cards that I'd like to save. So I'm going to put those together now. So I'm just going to pop my little plan under here just so I can see it. So for this page, like I say, I've got a few different things I want to include, but I'm also going to have a look at doing a nice border, different ways to stick the pictures down, and then I'm going to do something a little bit different on this page to put the cards in. So I think I'll start with popping the pictures down where I want them. So for this page I'm going to keep it simple and just use my washi tape and glue stick. So get these stuck down quickly. So like I say, I didn't do an awful lot for my birthday in lockdown, so I've only got 2 photos for this page, but that's fine because we can add lots of other nice things. So once I've got my base there, I'm going to add some washi tape. This one's quite nice and birthday-y. So a really easy way to use this tape is to just pop it on the corners of the pictures. That looks really nice and very in keeping with a scrapbook. I'm going to use that there. And then I think the next thing I want to add is a nice number here, but I don't want to just draw straight onto the page. I want to make it a little bit more interesting than that. So I'm going to take, I think, a piece of coloured paper. I'll go for the pink because that matches quite nicely. And one of my patterned papers, maybe 1 or 2. And I'm going to use a felt tip as well and combine all of those materials in this one little section to build up a nice design. That's probably like one of the key things with scrapbooking, is it you need to layer things up and use lots of different things on one page to make it look really nice and interesting. So all I've done here is choose some nice papers that match the layout, and I'm just cutting the shapes, not thinking too much about it, not being too precious with it, but I'm just cutting the shapes so that they fit this space that I've left quite nicely. So I've got that space there, and then I'm going to put another piece, I might change that one actually. It's always good to try different things out before you commit to your design. I'm going to pop that on the top like that, and that is where my number will go. So before I stick it down, I'm going to do my illustration, just so that it doesn't get all bumpy from the glue underneath. Revealing my age here. I'm sure lots of you know how to do nice bubble writing. I will do some more fancy writing a little bit later, I think, but for now I'm just going to keep it simple. But one nice thing you can do is use a combination of your two materials. So here I'm going to use the felt tip, and I'm going to use the fine liner as well, and I'm just going around the edge of the number just to make it look a little bit more interesting. It's still looking a little bit plain, so I might add some other things. I have some nice gems here that I've kept in my craft stash that I've never used. I'll pop some of those on, just to fill in the gaps. So next I think I might add a border. This one's really easy to do. It looks a little bit like a cloud. So you might want to start in the top corner and just sort of make curvy cloud shapes. And it's going to go all the way down to the bottom of the page. Turn a corner and come back round until you get back to the start. Just adds a little bit more detail. You can of course do this with a pencil first if you want to, I'm a bit impatient. I have to get going. And then I think I might add a bit more colour to that with some more felt tips. I'm just choosing out some colours that match nicely for my pictures and my other bits and bobs. I'm going to add some spots all the way around. So I've just got a little bit of space left up here, and I think I might do some bunting just to fit with the birthday theme. So I'm going to use my fine liner again, and for this is actually really easy to do. So I'm just going to do the string part of the bunting first, just from one edge of the page to the next, and then I'm going to cut out the little flags from the patterned paper. So I'm going to pick another one that looks nice and birthday. This one's really nice with the little biscuits and cakes on. This time I'm going to draw it first, be a bit more sensible. So we just need a few triangles. It's always best to draw it on the back of the pattern as well. We'll go for 3 and cut those out. Can't cut that bit out. And I'm just going to stick those onto the line that I've drawn, and hopefully they're going to look like little birthday bunting flags. So I think I'll leave that page there, and the good thing is I've got a few spaces, so perhaps later on I could do a little bit of writing about my birthday, but I won't bore you with that bit. So that is a nice easy layout. So we've looked at overlapping some different papers, using the felt tips and fine liners together, making little flags and using your washi tape in a really nice and easy way. So I'm going to leave that page there. I've left some space, perhaps do some writing a little bit later, but I've showed you a couple of different things there, so how you can easily make something look a bit more interesting by overlapping your different materials. Using the fine liner and felt tips together looks quite nice, and also just how to use the washi tape and some borders as well. So I think for my next page I have some birthday cards that I want to keep safe. So this one should be really quick and easy. I've got a couple of birthday cards and I want those to sort of fit in a little pocket on the page. So to do that I'm going to pick another one of my patterned pieces, I think this one. I'm just going to cut this a little bit off. And I'm just making a pocket, so I'm going to place those on the page where I want them, so I don't want them sticking out. I want them to be nice and neatly on the page like that. So I'll fold the bottom up first, So I've got a bottom edge there that's going to stick to the paper, and then I also need two sides as well. So just going to come in slightly. Keep measuring as well as I go along to make sure it's going to fit. So I've probably done that a little bit too thick. So hopefully that should fit them nicely. So I'll take those back off again. Use my glue stick, and the glue is just going to go on those folds that you've made. Be careful not to get any glue on this part, because we don't want to stick that bit down. Stick underneath there as well. It's a bit fiddly. Hopefully, usually I would let this dry a little bit, but I'm just going to check that it fits. Perfect. So I'm going to take those back out again just while the glue dries, but we know that those fit nicely. And the last thing I've got that I'd like to put on this page is some wrapping paper that I've kept, because I thought it was really cute. And it always seems a shame to throw wrapping paper away, so if you've got some wrapping paper that you really like and you don't want it to go to waste, pop it in your little craft box, and there's always a use for it in a scrapbook. So I think what I'm going to do is cut out this little doggy here and pop it in. And he's just going to go there, I think. So keeping on the theme of cute dogs, I thought next I would do a double page dedicated to my dog. Because with scrapbooks you don't have to necessarily do them because you've been on holiday or you've had a special event. It can be anything you like. So I thought, why not? I've got lots of pictures of him that I never really use, and I thought we'd pop them in a little scrapbook. So I think for this one, before I do anything with my photos, I'm going to do a bit more to the background this time. So I've picked another piece of patterned paper that I think will work quite nicely on this page. And instead of just sticking it on, what I'm going to do is stick it on so it's like a diagonal, just make it a bit more interesting. And instead of cutting, I'm going to rip it, because why not? So you can do this by hand, it's a bit harder to do. So if you've got a ruler, that really helps. Just going diagonally across the page, stepping down the ruler like that, and then obviously you can use that for something else. So I think that is going to go there. And quickly stick that on. And then I think next I will add some of my photos. So I've already just done one here, and for these photos I think it would look nice to have a bit more of a frame to them. So this is just a different way that you can display your pictures. So it's really easy to do. I've just popped my picture onto a coloured sheet, I've done it in the corner there just to make the most of the paper. I've left a little border here, so I've just got to cut around the other two sides to make it match. Just leaving a little gap like that. Again, you could use a ruler if you're neater than me. And I think they look really nice against the patterned paper. So I've got two pictures there, and I've got one other picture that I would really like to include as well, but just to save a bit of space and to cut my silly face out of it, I'm going to cut the actual picture out. So I'm just going to cut his cute little face out. Just another way to cut out your pictures and make them look a bit different. There you go, it looks 3D now. So I think I'm just going to play around with the layout a little bit until I'm happy. This is a good tip as well if you're a bit indecisive like me. You don't have to rush into gluing it down if you've got a bit more time. Okay, I'm going to go for that, and then I've got a little bit of space here. I'm going to write his name, which is Ted. It looks like a teddy bear. That goes there. So like I said, I'm going to write his name up here. This time I'm going to do it in pencil first, just to make it a bit neater, because I'm going to do a different type of font for this one. So I need a line at the bottom and then a line at the top, and I'm going to try and space the letters in between those two lines. So it's only 3 letters, so it should be nice and easy. I don't want to see those pencil lines too much, so I'm just going to gently rub those out a little bit, and also the lines at the bottom. Just leave the letters faintly so we can go over them with a pen. I'm going to pick a nice colour to match, I think. And then I think just to jazz that up a little bit, I'm going to add a bit more detail, I think, with a different shade of blue. And all I'm going to do is extend the letter a bit where the letter goes downwards. So on the T there, on the E, T. That's a little bit hard to explain, but I hope that makes sense. You can see just there, it's just given a little bit more detail. Again, I've got some spaces for writing, but I think I can probably fit a few more things on. So I've got some cute stickers. I thought this one would be ideal to add on. So we'll look where I've got a good space for this. I think maybe up there, that looks quite cute. And then I've got some more stickers as well that I've collected. Dot those around, and then I think I might do a little bit of drawing on this one too. I'm going to use my fine liner again, and I think I might do some paw prints. You don't have to worry too much about your drawings being really good in a scrapbook, because they can be really simplistic. So like just a simple paw print shape. Or equally, if you really like drawing, it can be a good space to keep them and make them look really nice. I think that one's finished. So you don't always have to do a double page, you could just do one page. I think that's a nice little dedication to him. So we've done some interesting capital letters, we've done some framing of pictures, and also added some pattern to the background too, which was all nice and easy to do. So hopefully those 2 pages have given you a couple of ideas to get started. I've done 2 more just to show you a couple more techniques that you could try out on your own. So I've done a page here all about my holiday. So I've got a couple of pictures that I really like, so had those printed out. I've stuck those on using the 2 techniques that we tried earlier, so just the washi tape and doing the frame. I've done a little bit more layering with this one, so I've added the sticker over the top, and then underneath there's a few other bits, like these strips here. These are just from a disposable camera that I took on my trip. These contact sheets usually just throw them away, but I thought I'd keep them because you can actually see the little miniature photos. So I've popped those there just with some more framing, just changing the width of the paper underneath as well, makes it a bit more interesting. I've added a ticket, some text here, and then I've put a little banner at the top that says barley and the date as well. So that is that one. And then I've done another one dedicated to some nature photos that I've taken through lockdown. So I thought for this one I'd switch it up a bit and go the other way and do it landscape. Again, I added a background before sticking any photos on, but I've done a different edge here. So I've done a scalloped edge, which I just did by measuring across the page with a ruler, and then I cut along just above the line. Really nice and easy, sort of like a cloud shape again. I've layered on some tape. This washi tape's actually really good for making easy borders, so if you don't feel like you want to draw one out like I did on the other page, you could just use the tape. That's nice and easy. Again, laid some stickers, and then I've brought in some more bits that I had in my little stash. I've got this paint cut off here. I keep lots of these, and they're really good if you do like painting and you've got lots of these lying around. Keep them because they've got some lovely colours on, and I picked this one especially because it matched some of the nice pastel colours on the patterned paper and the stickers and the photographs. And I've done a different style of writing here. It's just like sort of more of a script writing that you do just generally day to day at school, and I've just used a fine liner for that one. I thought they layered quite nicely. And that is my scrapbook. So hopefully, like I say, there's a couple of ideas to get you going there. There's always loads more online if you use Pinterest. There's hundreds and hundreds of different things you can do, and hopefully you've got a good starter pack for getting your own scrapbook going with the different papers and the stickers and the tapes and all the good stuff. Hope you enjoyed it. Thank you.